now you're back in Cape Town visiting until the end of the year, you said. What are you working on now?
Well, the book, the memoir we're discussing, has only recently come out. What I did while it was due to come out was I wrote a proposal about a subject. You know, books often go far, far back. One can't always place where they begin. And all through my other books, there has been a subject about women. I have written one biography of the great 18th century feminist Mary Wollstonecraft, who wrote A Vindication of the Rights of Woman in 1792. And it meant a lot to me to write a more political book. But part of that book and part two of a preceding book, which was Passionate Life of Charlotte Bronte, I was interested in a word that resonated for Mary Wollstonecraft, though people sort of hadn't pulled it out of her work, which was nature. And Virginia Woolf, too, pulls that word nature out at the beginning of her feminist treatise, A Room of One's Own, where she talks about the great problem of the true nature of woman. She said, it's a problem I can't solve, and I'm going to talk instead about the economic situation of women, because that's simpler. But I hardly dare tackle the subject, but I'm going to tackle it through the lives of 6 extraordinary women, beginning with Mary Shelley.
Wow.
All of whom were outcasts or outsiders. So there is this theme that I've been writing about in the memoir in a very personal way, which I'm now going to turn back and apply to biography proper. But looking in biography has changed in that it used to be a big tome. There was this fantasy, this idea of full-scale life. And really they were a bit tedious to read because there's no way of telling the whole truth about a life.
Right.
So the way biography is going is the way I'm going now, which is I want to focus on a particular area of each of these women's lives. And I want to bring in Olive Schreiner as well, great South African novelist, when she was under house arrest during the Boer War in Hanover in the Cape, because she had made a flagrant speech against the war in Cape Town to an audience of about 200 women who were protesting against war, and the British had who were really controlling things then and opening up concentration camps, as they were already called, the British put her under house arrest. And she was then thinking about a book called Woman in Labour, which became almost a Bible for the suffragettes generation. And she tells us that she thought out the book in the darkness at night when she wasn't allowed a candle. So that's another of what I think of as sightings of the night. That's the title I wanted, and I'm confiding in you now that my editor, I respect so much at Verage, doesn't want that title.
Oh no!
I don't think, she thinks it's not a commercial title.
Okay.
So I have to think again.
Well, so far she's given some great advice, but I like that title.
Oh, I'm so pleased. And I've got an agent in London who's South African and has a lot of South African authors, Isabel Dixon. She likes the title too. So maybe I'll go back and plead my case.
Well, I can't wait for that. But for now, we have Divided Life that's just come out by Lyndall Gordon. You can get it at all good bookstores.